Okay, now moving on to something which is unique, right? Which is happening right now, right? There is something called as vibe coding. So far, we were researching on options to auto-program the code, right? We have been, this has been happening from a long time, maybe with the deep what was that? Deep coder, right? That was the first one which came up with the concept that we will automate the code, right? It has been happening from a long time, but now it's a concept called vibe coding. Vibe coding, right? A vibe coding is basically a method where you can achieve a complete developed prototype or a product with less amount of code being written manually. All right. Now, there are several players. So what is happening now is the LLMs have been maturing on its own, be it be cloud or be it be Grok or be it be Gemini or be it be ChatGPT or be it be Copilot, right? These are standard LLMs, which is available for every individual outside the enterprise also, right? Now, what happens is there is some concept called wrapper, which is an extension of this LLM, right? For example, cloud has something called a CLI. In the same way, there's a new some other tool called Lovable. I've been exploring on Lovable, so I know about this. There are many other tools also. So basically, what this does is at the back end, it connects to the LLM, but at the front end, it would help you play around with the contextual tools. For example, you can have one window open and go ahead and give as many contexts related to the end program that you want to develop from it, right? So it's basically business requirement document, functional requirement document, as well as technical requirement document, all three fed into a conversational AI where it interacts with LLM and it's based on what it has been already trained on, right? Because LLMs are already trained on all the worldly things which we already know. So based on that, it will go ahead and put in the code automatically, right? But for you to be on control, what you need to do is basically ensure that you specify the language and the technical platform on which it has to program so that a code review is possible because you can't rely on the systems at this part of the time. It is not yet mature, so you need a code review for sure. And enable three separate instances, development, test, and prod, and don't allow anything for this intelligent AI to go ahead and amend in the production. Okay, and these wrappers are so good that they do a end-to-end testing as well as they resolve the errors. They run the program on their own. They identify the errors. They resolve the errors. They keep going in cycle as long as the error is fixed. At least both CLI as well as Lovable does it. All right. So this is about complete code automation. But again, I wouldn't say don't depend on that code. Ensure that you have a code review and especially ensure that a particular tech stack is used for this code as a contextual requirement so that you can review the code and ensure that it's in the right way and pass on as much as requirements possible toward from the guidelines as well as from all other regulation aspects so that you get the end product. What I have observed or what I have found is using Lovable, I would be able to recreate Twitter program within a week's time, a replica of Twitter or the X social platform can be replicated as a prototype within 1 week, right? Now with a domain name and hosting, web hosting services, you would be able to launch it and scale it up. But scaling and launching it into a particular domain and with hosting. For CLI, it does on its own. If you have the domain name, you can give it the context and move the code to prod. But Lovable also does it, right? Lovable also does it. So it's becoming very simple with coding and developing a program, but these systems are not mature. They are error prone. So there is a need for us to go ahead and review the code, also ensure that suffice testing is done before we move to prod. And please, please don't allow the intellectual AI or the white coders to go ahead and move production code to production, right? With that, I end this podcast. Next is basically the last one, and I would also go ahead and give some more tips on what comes after super intelligent AI. With that, I end this podcast. Thank you. Bye bye.